Good morning. Welcome back to SBJ Week in Review. I am Keagan Holsey. To my left is Chad Holsey. How you doing, Chad?
I'm doing better than you.
Yeah.
I was able to make it to church. You did not. So I would say and then there's a lot of that coughing. So just heads up as we get going. He has a lot of coughing going on. He no longer has a fever. We're not sure if he ever had a fever. But
Probably gonna sound pretty rough today. I am feeling a million times better. I just have a cough. My nose is clear now. I was having these abdominal pains that were very weird, which made me think that my what is it called, gallbladder?
Whatever.
I thought something ruptured. I thought I was about to die. But
it wasn't good.
But yeah, we all just felt like it was best for me to stay home so I didn't get other people sick, because it was somebody in my youth department that gave me the flu.
We're not naming names?
No, probably not. I mean, I could. The theory is
there is a theory out there for sure.
There is somebody that blame has been cast upon.
Yes.
Because this person gave it to somebody else in the youth department, so they think that it must be where I got it from. But yeah, doing much better. Went to the gym this morning. Probably shouldn't have. But
Well,
I'm clean.
I think as long as you wipe things down when you're done. They have them wipes to sterilize and kill stuff, and as long as you weren't coughing on people, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm going to try my best not to be coughing this whole episode. But I wasn't here this Sunday, so I'm not going to have much to talk about church-wise. So he's going to kind of take the reins on that and give y'all a full breakdown of everything that went down here at Shiloh Baptist.
Well, so do we want to start with Wednesday night, because you can talk on that, and do we want to get to the comments? Because we do have several comments from last week, so why don't you do...
Comments should be at the end.
Save the comments for the end.
100%.
Okay, we're going to save comments for the end, and hope that goes well. So do you want me to do Wednesday night?
Church is the reason we do the podcast. So we should make sure we get that out of the way.
All right, let's get that out of the way. I like it. Wednesday night we're in Joseph still, and Joseph is the brothers are now come down for the second time. So he sent them away with food and said, if you don't bring your younger brother, you're not going to see me. Well, now they've come back, and they brought the younger brother, and we see that they're dealing with a lot of animosity, anxiety, and it's all because of what they did to Joseph 20 years earlier. So there's a 20-year period from the time they sold Joseph into slavery until this now. But it still haunts them what they've done to Joseph, right? And it's interesting when you read the Bible, their biggest fear, their biggest worry is that they're going to be sold into slavery. So what they did to Joseph is ultimately their biggest fear of what's going to happen to them. And so that's one of the things. He's bringing us to his house so that he can fall upon us and make us slaves. So they're worried about that. But no, they went and ate at Joseph's house, and all was good. Brother was restored to him. Simeon was restored to him. And we've not gotten to the point where Joseph has revealed that he's Joseph yet, which is going to bring up some more anxiety. But they are there, and just, you think they see all of this like their money being restored to their bags. They see that as being a bad thing, and they see that as because of what they've done, and they can't see the blessing of God, and they never even think of it that the Lord restored our money. It's a blessing. Thank you, Lord. They only see it has to be bad because of what we've done in the past, because they have unconfessed sins, because they've not made things right. And so not even knowing that that's Joseph, but they're still dealing with the trauma or whatever, their issues from what they did to Joseph. And so that they're still not able to move past that. They're not able to get past what they've done and their damage that they did to Joseph. And they assume that Joseph is dead. He no longer exists. Dad for sure assumed, that was a loud whistle. Dad assumes that Joseph is dead because he even says Joseph is no more. Simeon is no more. So in their thinking, according to Jacob, they're both dead, So what an incredible thing. And we just talked about how, that unconfessed sin in your life keeps you from being able to move forward and be who you need to be, do what you need to do. It keeps you from seeing the blessings of God. keeps you even from receiving the blessings of God, right? And so we just talked about as men that we need to be, forthcoming. We need to repent. We need to make things right. And once we are and we're where we're supposed to be with God, then we can see his blessings and we can see the good things that he's doing and see what he's trying to accomplish in our lives. And it just makes all that easier. So it was good. We had a good group Wednesday night. We're down a hair, but not bad. And I do think there's a lot of sickness going on, a lot of people that are not well. And so, but other than that, man, wow, what a good night. I didn't think we would be over 100 on Wednesday night, especially starting off. A lot of people are coming a little bit later to eat. They're kind of coming in a little bit later, and they're not there right at 6 o'clock. And so I was worried. I was like, man, our numbers are going to be really, really, really down. Apparently, a lot of people came in late because our numbers were 102. So it was good, and Spirit was good. The ladies are doing their thing. They're talking about women in the Bible, and so I think that's going well.
Shout out DJ.
Yep, shout out to Miss DJ. And for those who don't know, that's Denise Johnson. And then Financial Peace University, they wrap up this week. This will be their last week. And hopefully a lot of people are getting their finances in order and figuring out how that works to plan for their future and what their future looks like. And hopefully a lot of people have learned a lot from that. But I'm also ready and excited to have some of them younger guys back in our group, because like right now, all of our younger guys are in the most of our younger guys are in that Financial Peace University, and I'm really looking forward to having them back in our crowd and a part of what we're doing. So it'll be nice to have some younger guys back in there, and I think it'll be good. But yeah, all in all, things are going well. Wednesday night was good, and so this Wednesday night we're going to make it happen. And so we go pick the kids up in the bus, and that goes well. And we it's just a good week. It's a good day. So
we started a series Wednesday night, kind of helping them understand their faith, not really like be able to explain, the gospel and all that, but be able to say like, hey, if someone came up to you and said, why do you believe in Jesus? Like, what's your answer? Like, how are you going to defend that? Kind of like an apologetics thing, but not really. But also we started off by breaking down the argument for Christianity as opposed to atheism, and breaking down, things that we can kind of prove our faith on, and stuff like that. And then I kind of wrapped with 3 questions that I encouraged them to try to figure out an answer for yourself for this week as you're doing your quiet times and stuff. And encouraged a lot of them to, if you want, text me your answers. And I've actually been shocked by how many texts I've gotten of people sitting down and thinking through these questions, which I think is really good. The first is, how has following Jesus affected your life? Which I think is it's a good thing to sit down and let's think
about
this.
it. Yeah.
The second thing is, why do you believe in Jesus? I'm sure at their age, when I was in their class, if somebody would have asked me that, I wouldn't have known what to say other than, well, my parents believe in Jesus.
Right, I'm here because my parents are here.
So and that's what I kind of want to encourage that, because I said, like, as I look around this room, obviously a lot of you were kind of like me growing up. You're in church because your parents are bringing you. It's not really because you're here because you want to be here. And I believe most of them want to be there, but I wonder how many would be in church if parents weren't encouraging that. And so trying to really get them to grasp their faith on their own, and it be something that they take responsibility of, and not just because this is what my parents have taught me, but hey, I believe this because and be able to explain that. And then the last question is, what things in your life are you grateful for? And I think those are just 3 really healthy things for them to be sitting through and trying to break down on their own time, and not trying to associate their faith just because their parents believe it, but actually have it be something that is sought out on their own, something that they've taken responsibility for, and something that they can explain to someone if someone was to approach them and ask them questions. So the first week was just kind of debunking atheism, I guess, and kind of trying to get them to start getting the wheels turning for grasping their faith on their own. As we go through the rest, it's all about kind of more into the apologetics field of like people asking you questions, how to defend your faith, stuff like that. Because I feel like there's a lot of times in high school I got asked questions that, man, I got stumped a few times by people that were atheists that were trying to stump me. They weren't trying to actually hear me out in the conversation, but they were trying to stump me, and they succeeded because I didn't really know very well how to defend my faith or knew anything in apologetics. So I think this series is going to be good for them, especially at their age, and hopefully that by the end of the series they'll know why they believe it, and they'll be able to see why their beliefs have affected their life and the fruits that come from following Jesus.
So, yeah, I think one of the biggest issues and what a lot of people may or may not realize, there comes a point in your life where, am I going to continue believing this for me, or is this just my parents' religion? Is this what my parents believe? And so there comes a point in your life, like where that decision happens. And a lot of times it happens when you're a teenager, and a lot of times it happens when you're in college.
That's what I told them.
And then some people will move, and you'll find that they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and they just now start wrestling with this concept. But at some point, you're going to wrestle with this. Is this what I believe, or is this what my parents believe? But when I think of a teenager, if you, with what you're doing, is challenging them early in this process, I think that's huge, because that makes them that gets them there to the table earlier, and so then as they go through college or as they go through high school and go through college, it helps with that processing, and I've already processed this. I've already thought about this. I've already wrestled with this. I've already had that moment where I've asked these questions.
Trying to get roots deep early.
Absolutely.
One of the things I told them is, like, a lot of people that I went to high school with, what I noticed is when they got to college, since they weren't rooted deep, they lost their faith in college.
Sure.
It was easy because, obviously, especially the people that went to college where they weren't living at home anymore, because you don't feel obligated to go to church anymore. So it's easy to stop going to church. It's easy to start hanging out with people that, the first people that you're around, this is my friend group now. And if they're not, involved in following Jesus, then you're going to start letting that take a back seat too. And it's so easy to steer away from that. And then you're out of college, and now you've gotten comfortable not following anymore. And you just kind of keep pursuing that lifestyle the rest of your life, where if we can get them rooted and they're grounded in this now, when they get to college, they'll seek out good, godly friends, and they'll keep going to church, and they'll keep pursuing Christ. And then come back home and then reinstill that in their future children.
Well, and that's the whole goal of a youth ministry, right? That's one of the things when I was a youth pastor, that was the whole goal of what we were trying to accomplish. First of all, if you're not saved, to be saved. But then second of all is to help them advance in their spiritual walk early. Because I've seen, I'm thinking of one person in particular that went into college as a quote-unquote Christian and came out an atheist. What happened? Well, they weren't grounded. That they really didn't know what they believed, and they got into college and was fed a bunch of stuff and believed all that stuff and was indoctrinated, and then we see obviously the issues that come from that, to where now this individual won't go to church, doesn't want to even talk about God, don't want nothing to do with God, and but before she went to college, she was fine, So I think that's those kind of conversations happening in the youth department now, I think, are huge, because it just helps gets those roots down early and makes them stronger, deeper, and hopefully they'll be able to withstand the attacks of the devil, because that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He wants you to drop that and to move away from that and to not have a close, deep relationship with God, and so that's what he's trying to accomplish. So I think that's good. I think that's really good.
I thought it was cool to see how many actually texted me their response. I feel like, when you give people like homework type questions, and it's like, I didn't even expect most of them to write it down and think through it, let alone actually text me their answer. I was shocked by the number of students that actually sat down, wrestled with it, and by the end of the week had sent me a text with their answers, these super long, well thought out, well articulated texts where it's like, okay, now I'm like,
yeah, they're learning.
I'm very confident in where they stand with their faith and stuff, because, I feel like for a lot of students, you can walk the walk, but not really be wrestling with stuff at home, and just kind of putting on a face and really only thinking about God on Sundays and Wednesdays. And so to see them, they're actually sitting down, they're spending time thinking through this stuff throughout the week, I think is really cool. And then also just having the courage to send me the text of their answers is really, really cool. So
yeah. Yeah, good. Well, and yeah, I think that's awesome that they are, being challenged in that, doing that. And they're listening more than you think. So that's always one of the things I'd have to remind myself. I don't think nobody's listening or getting anything. Well, they're actually learning and listening and getting more than what you sometimes may.
Well, what helps me feel more confident while I'm teaching is my note takers that I have in my class. When I see them jotting stuff down, I'm like, yes, okay.
Yeah,
I got at least 2 people listening right now.
Yeah.
That's Amy and Gabby. They write down everything.
Oh, that's good though, man.
Gabby's also snapped at me a few times for going through the slide too fast, and she's like angry that she didn't write it all down. I was like, all right, my bad. I'll slow it down.
Slow down your roll. Well, good. Well, and I think the good thing about taking notes is, if you keep a journal or a book or a notepad or whatever, you can always go back and read those and look at them, and I think that's a good thing. We have some note takers in our auditorium on Sunday mornings that they're always writing down stuff, and I think that's good.
Well, I also got to go watch Gabby play soccer last week. Forgot to mention that.
Big old soccer game.
So that was a good time. Weather wasn't too bad. Man, the weather this week is looking nice.
Looking nice?
Bro, I mean, I'm in shorts and a T-shirt. I'm going to stay in this all day. It's supposed to get up to mid-70s today.
I love it.
But
let's do it.
Soccer game was a little bit cold, but I had a jacket, so I was fine. Of course, Gabby's brother Noah's walking around in shorts and T-shirt. I was like, there's no way.
I just don't understand why we do soccer and track and field, why it's so stinking cold.
Because football's the other side.
It
goes
cold.
Straight from football to track. So it's really not an option.
Just cold. I feel sorry for them students out there trying to run around a track or around a soccer field, and it's, 10 degrees. Golly.
I told Coach White one year while we were doing track, I remember we were out there, it was freezing, and I told him, it was my first year, I said, next year I'm not doing track unless we get an indoor facility built. I said, I'm not doing this again.
It's just too cold.
It's brutal, especially when you're trying to jump and stuff.
Well.
So for me, jumping, like, it's a very technical thing. You have to be very flexible. When I'm cold, everything stiffens up.
Yeah,
so now I can't flex my back all the way out, and so it's tough. You got to figure out how to stay warm. But the soccer players, it's not an issue. They don't stop moving the whole time.
That's true.
I think it would only be bad for the people on the bench. But
yeah, and that's where I'd be, and so I wouldn't like it.
But yeah, no, enjoyed getting to see her play. Don't think any other students really are playing sports. I think I've seen everybody that's in season right now.
Gotcha.
So I think right now it's just I can go see Bentley play soccer again, which was super nice having him come to Pickens. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
I love when people play sports in Pickens. Makes it easy for
You don't
them.
have to go too far.
But
that's good.
But yeah, so that's Wednesday and the rest of the week. Now jump into Sunday. I can tell you what I did Sunday.
What'd you do Sunday?
I woke up at 11 o'clock.
Wow.
Turned on the service.
Did you watch?
I did.
Gotcha.
And then as soon as y'all wrapped, I patiently waited, hoping that Mom would bring me back something from Pueblo. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but she did bring me her leftovers, and I chowed down on that, and I was still grateful.
So we had the discussion: do we take him food or not? And Tracy had a whole bunch of food. I said, well, why don't you just take that back to him instead of giving him a whole nother plate? And then if he needs something more, we can go get him something else. I said, or text him. She goes, well, I don't want to wake him up if he's not awake. And so, so it was kind of one of those deals. We were kind of in a dilemma and didn't really know what to do. And so that's what we decided on. And so that's what happened.
I think that's the latest I've ever slept in. I don't remember ever sleeping in past 11.
Yeah. Well, that just shows that you're probably needed to do that and you weren't feeling well.
So when I woke up and looked at my phone and saw it was 11, I was trying to think, okay, is it 11 p.m. or 11 a.m.? I was like so lost because, of course, I'm in the basement, so it's pitch black.
Sure.
And that happened a few times. Because Saturday I fell asleep 100,000 times, and I would wake up and I had no idea. When I would look at the time, I was like, I don't know if it's morning or night. I have no idea.
Right. Did you realize that you lost an hour during the night?
Did I?
Everybody lost an hour Saturday night.
That was last night? Saturday night. Okay,
yeah.
I was about to say.
That's
Saturday night,
morning?
I couldn't fall asleep for the life of me. I looked down at my phone, I'm sitting there rolling around. It's 2 a.m. I was like, gosh, I got to be up in 4 hours.
Yeah.
So probably not helpful to get that little sleep when I'm sick, but oh well. Sunday.
Sunday was good. Had a good group. Sunday school was good. We wrapped up our series on, just living a quiet life, but then being loud in our courage and in our faith and in our just the things that we do as a Christian. So there's a fine line between being obnoxious and being a turn-off Christian, than being someone who's willing to be courageous and stand for their faith in a positive, productive way. I think a lot of things that people do when it comes to their faith and or religion or whatever is more of a turn-off than it is a bonus. So we just talked about what that looks like and how we can be more positive, encouraging. K-Love.
I was just about to say that.
That's funny. But how we can be more positive and encouraging, and doing it in a and obviously. People are going to be offended just because we're talking about the Bible. There are going to be folks that aren't going to like it. There's already going to be enough hate there that we don't need to add to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so screaming and yelling at people, getting in big, huge yelling fights and that kind of a deal, just is not productive. But I think we can still have a rational, intelligent conversation with people who want to listen, with people who want to talk. And so I just encourage them to do that. But I also believe that our walk talks more than our talk talks. So that's a song. But that whole idea of people are watching you and watching how you live your life and how you treat people, how you go through your day, and those kind of a deal. And if you're 1 minute you're screaming, yelling, kicking, slamming, and then the next minute you're praising Jesus, well, people are like, I don't know about that. You're walking around throwing a temper and being just being a crazy person. Or even like on Facebook, I've seen these people they'll be bashing somebody on Facebook, their wife or their girlfriend or their husband or even just somebody, and they're just bashing and saying awful, horrible things. And then the next verse is praise ye the Lord. No, and you're just like, well, you just your post before that has ruined your quote unquote testimony of your verse. And so the reality is, not everything has to be posted on Facebook, right? So you don't have to do that, but we see even people do that in public, and so the whole idea is live intentionally, realize that there's people watching you, and do right because it's right? So be the kind of Christian and the kind of example you need to be. And so it was good. No, it went well, and we had a pretty good crowd. We're down a little bit in Sunday school for our Sunday school. We're down a little bit, but all in all, man, what a really, really good day. And then in the main services, we just broke down what Faith Promise Missions was, and we were a little low. It was kind of funny. In the second service, there's a couple that only comes to our they typically come to the first service, right? And we looked up, and Tracy saw them, and she goes, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to come to the first service." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that today." So I think with the time change and with so many sick people, that first service was a little low. Second service was okay. It could have been better, but I think with so many people sick and the time change, that really messed up a lot of people. But we talked about Faith Promise Missions and what that looks like, what that is. So here at Shiloh Baptist Church, our mission program that we choose to do is called Faith Promise Missions. And what it simply is encouraging people to commit to give either weekly, monthly, or a one-time gift. And we ask you to commit that, write that on a card, what that total is. We don't ask you to write your name. That's between you and God. But a commitment that you're going to do, and where you say, by faith, I'm going to give this amount, and by faith, trusting that God is going to bring that back to me, give that back. It's going to be, returned. So that way I can give it again. And so, we just kind of encourage, because I think we've got enough new people that they don't know what Faith Promise Missions is. They've never seen it or ever heard me talk about it. So we just laid it out. Hey, this is where it is. This is what it does. And what we do with Faith Promise Missions is what you commit on that card for that week, month, or year. We then combine it all together, and that's how we come up with our budget for missions. And the reality is, if people don't commit to give, then we've got to make cuts. We have to call missionaries and say, hey, we're not going to be able to support you this year because we don't have the money coming in, and so our whole budget missions it will live and die based off people committing to being a part of this program called Faith Promise Missions. And so we broke that down, and we looked at it, and we just encourage people that have been given to give, encourage people that have never give to maybe start giving. And then we went as far as to even just explain the difference between tithing and Faith Promise Missions offering. Two different concepts, two different things. With tithe, God says, I want 10%. That's what he requires. It's what he asks. And there's no discussion on that. 10%. Hey, how much should I give this week? 10%. How much should I give next week? 10%. So that's really not a discussion. But when it comes to the offering, which is when you give to missions, that's an offering. That offering should be above your 10%. So when you give to missions, it should be above your 10%. And so I just encourage some people that struggle with even just tithing 10%. Hey, maybe start there, and start with your 10%. And then when you give to Faith Promise Missions, it's above the 10%. And that's where you really get into that offering, where that's when you really see the blessings. That's when you're going above and beyond what God requires. You're going above and beyond what God wants. Do you have to give to missions? No, but man, what an eternal investment! What an eternal a thing that you're doing that will last for all of eternity. And what an opportunity to help missionaries all over the world to be successful, to give them the fundings that they need to reach people with the gospel of Jesus. And you can be in as little as a $1 a week. You know what I mean? You can be in as little as $1 a month. We're not asking certain amounts from people. There's not a percentage. We're just asking you, Lord. And so the challenge is, talk to the Lord. Lord, what do you want me to give this year to missions? And so we do that. And last year we were blessed to give $75,000 last year to missions, and I really just desire for that to continue to go up and to.
And if you just sit and look at the work that all those people that we supported, everything that they've done, that's all stuff that you were a part of. If you gave,
absolutely,
you helped make that happen, and it's really cool to sit through and read the newsletters and all that stuff and see, what it's all going towards. And I think it also just makes it like, it's hard to give money, but when you're seeing the good that it's causing, I think it makes it a lot easier. Well,
I talked about investing a lot. Like, say you invest in a Roth IRA and you put money into, say, stocks and that kind of stuff. And I was talking about how this Friday I took a pretty big dip in we went from this amount of money to way down here to this amount of money, so some money was lost in the stock market this last Friday. And of course, I think the war and all the things that are going on causes that. But anyhow, I'm not worried about it because it's a long game that we're playing. But the reality is that investment that I'm trying to invest for my future, the reality is that can be gone in a heartbeat. That can all be gone just like that, But when I invest in missions, that's an eternal investment where moth and rust does not corrupt and where thief cannot break in and steal. The economy's not based on it. That is something when I get to heaven, that's treasure being laid up in heaven that I will have for all of eternity. And so it is an eternal investment. It is an incredible investment. You may not see that right here, right now. And I think that's the hard part with people when it comes to investing in missions. You may not see how much of a benefit or how much of a thing that you've got going. But man, I just can't imagine when we walk into heaven, the internal investments. But I always look at it when you see a missionary that says, hey, we had 20 people saved this last month or whatever, man, I'm excited to think, man, I got to be a part of that. I sent money and I was faithful and I sacrificed, and the Lord has just blessed there. And so anyhow, that's where we're at. That's what we do a couple of weeks every year in March, and we're going to do on March the 22nd, we're going to do commitment cards, and I just hope that people will, by faith, trust the Lord in their offering, and we'll give so that we can continue supporting the missionaries that we support. And I even pray that it goes up so we can take on some more missionaries, because there are people that call and send stuff every week looking for our support. Every week. Yeah. That they want support, they need support, and so, but we can't do more until the money goes up. So it's just kind of where we're at, and so I want to do more. There's opportunity to do more. We just need people to say, "Hey, I want to be a part of this eternal investment, and I want to have a role in that." And man, I just know that. I imagine there's people, no one's ever gotten to heaven and said, I shouldn't have gave so much to missions. But I guarantee you people that showed up in heaven were like, man, I could have given a ton more to missions. I could have done more. And so that's the whole challenge for the next couple of weeks is just trying to get people to be on board with what we're doing for missions and internal investment. So,
but don't ask God how much you should give if you're scared about what the answer is going to be.
Well, a lot of people. I even said that Sunday.
He'll answer.
That's what I said. A lot of you aren't. I said, man, here's what I want you to do: ask God, Lord, what do you want me to give this year to missions? And I said, the sad truth is, some of you aren't going to ask because you're afraid He'll answer.
I'll say that I asked last year and I wasn't happy with the answer either.
Yeah, no, man, there's no doubt about it.
I went through the entire year not ever in need.
Yeah,
I mean, I had to borrow money from you once or twice, but that's truck problems. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But either way, it's not like I wasn't taken care of throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's countless people in the church that can give you testimony after testimony about their experiences with giving to missions. And is Jay going to be here next week?
Jay is going to, so during Sunday school, he's going to come and give his a report. So we're going to do a combined Sunday school from teenagers.
Was that a surprise? Did I ruin a surprise?
You're fine.
You can cut it.
No, it's fine. But he's going to come and he's going to give a report and going to just tell all the stuff that's going on in all the places that he's involved in. And man, I'm just really excited because I think, man, he's got some crazy stories.
And so what I was going to say is if you're on the fence about giving, I really encourage you coming and listening to this guy.
Come next week, yes.
I mean, you just hear one of his crazy stories. You're like, oh my gosh, like I want to support this psychopath. He's
doing stuff.
The situations he puts himself in is psychotic, crazy. But the amount of people that he's reaching that have never even been reached before.
Well, and the things that he does to his body, that it just takes him months and months and months to recover. Like he'll go and it'll be months before he's right.
And most of his stories are like near-death situations.
Yeah, crazy. It's a miracle he hadn't been killed. Only by the grace of God.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's just super cool when you hear stuff like that, man. I think it's helpful. It's re-encouraging for making you want to give because I think there's like a stigma that, well, if I give, how do I know for sure that the money's going there? You could see it. We went through, if you're at the business meeting, you see every money that was given to missions got sent out to missions.
Absolutely. We don't keep anything missions.
And all that's being used to advance the kingdom. So anyways, I'll tell you what's coming up next. We are going to read some comments from last week's episode. I seem to have upset quite a few people. And then after that, we're doing a top 5 list, and then we'll wrap it up. So, but to get into the comments, obviously last week I don't even think I got that carried away. I went on a little rant about the chili cook-off. So if you missed that, highly recommend going back and watching that. A lot of people texted me and said it's their favorite episode ever. So maybe I need to get angry more often. But I didn't really lash out to the extent that I felt like I should have. Anyways, had a lot of people text me, which I should have remembered to print those off. I just have the comments here with me. But those of you that texted me really enjoyed the last. What did Miss Julie Box say?
I can look that up.
Because she texted both of us this. This conversation was pretty funny. And I think you viewers would like my response that I gave back to her. By the way, Julie Box is the 2-time reigning champion of the chili cook-off.
She is 2 times.
She listened to the podcast, and she sent a text to me and Dad in a group chat.
She says, all right, Keagan, I heard what you said about the chili battle. Bring it on.
So I just sent a couple laughing emojis, and then she said,
I was considering being your mentor, but now it's on. And then Keagan says, hey, even David beat Goliath. You might have a chance. And she said, bring it. So she is thrown down. She has accepted the challenge, and she is ready for a battle.
We'll see if she can take down Goliath next year. Yeah. But anyways, on to the comments. The first one is from our favorite commenter, Pat Buckles.
Oh, Pat.
My grandpa. He said, Mimi's chili is awesome. I don't know that I've ever had it.
I don't think I ever have either.
Can't say her meatloaf rocks. I've had that quite a few times.
Meatloaf's good.
Then he says, putting corn in chili makes it goulash. You know what? I could not agree more with you there.
See, I would think you have to put a noodle in it for it to be a goulash.
That's a good point, too. I don't know.
So that's my argument.
I haven't looked up the definition of goulash, but
I think there needs to be a noodle in there.
I do think corn and chili definitely... You're steering away from the core of what chili should be.
I'm okay with corn in it.
Then he wrapped up his comment by saying, bring back top 5 lists. Well, Grandpa, I have good news for you. Coming up after this, we will do our top 5 sodas list. We sat there trying to think of a top 5 list to do just for you today, and that's what we landed on. Next comment's from Keith McNeil. He said, "You are setting yourself up for a very sad day." That comment made me laugh very hard when I first saw that. And yet, maybe I am, but maybe I'm setting myself up for the greatest "I'm him" moment.
Maybe you never know.
Because if I talk all this and then come in and get first place, I mean, what are y'all going to say?
How many people are going to yell it was rigged because you're the youth pastor?
Brother,
I'm just saying.
When has anything ever been rigged for me in this church?
Probably never.
I feel like it's the whole world against me sometimes.
I got you. Well, you make it that way sometimes.
And then, did we ever decide who that is?
I don't know who John 30022 is.
We have two theories. I'm leaning towards the second theory. I don't think it's John Johnson.
Okay, so it could either be John Johnson or who?
Don't know their last name. John and Patty?
Oh, John Mackey.
John Mackey. That's the last
John
name.
Mackey.
Yeah, that's
probably John. John.
That's
Mackey,
who I'm thinking it is, especially because of this comment. This seems like a Mackey type.
And he's got some good comments.
This seems like something he would say. It says, "There goes my idea for next year. I was going to get everyone to make a white chicken chili and leave you wondering what happened."
And it's hard to, well, I don't know. John Johnson might say that too. So whoever you are, John, whatever.
322.
Let us know for sure who you are. I think it's John Mackey, but I think
so too. But in the past, I've read comments from this person and had said John Johnson said.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have said that
just because for the longest time, like when he first started coming, I only knew him as Mr. Mackey. I did not know John was his first name.
Oh,
which is funny now because now I'm reading John. I knew that's his name.
And you couldn't think of Mackey.
Couldn't think of his last. I'm blanking. I'm recovering, John Mackey. I apologize.
That's the story of my life.
He did come up to me. What did he say? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Oh, Wednesday he comes up and he shakes my hand. And I shook it. He said, "I just want to be the first one to congratulate you on your chili win next year." And I started laughing. I was like,
"That's awesome." So I would think that's most likely.
I agree because I don't think John Johnson's mentioned the podcast to me before. Maybe he has. I don't know. I don't know. One last comment by my good friend Sam Cater. He says, "I love beans, but chili without beans is peak. For you old heads, peak means the best."
The best. Wow.
And then he says, "Hopefully Dad will enter next year." He seems pretty confident if his dad enters, his dad will win. So I encouraged him to let his dad know, maybe don't enter next year.
Might want to take a couple of years off.
Enter in the next year. That way I can at least just get one win under my belt. I've talked all this. I kind of need this more than you.
Yeah.
So just let me get one win under my belt. Then you can enter in because I don't need the two-peat.
But we have several people that didn't enter this year that are now saying, "Oh, I'm coming."
And it's only because I said I think I can win.
There are several. Several.
They could have entered the past 5 years.
Well, some of them
while I'm the judge.
Some of these
people. But she entered. She won.
She did. She got third.
She got third. But here's my thought is a lot of the people that are saying, "Well, I'm going to enter next year," have been coming for a while and have had many opportunities. They're only wanting to enter just so that I can't win. That's their only reason for joining, and I think that's kind of hateful.
I say we do it. I say let's make this, if we're going to do it, let's make it a legit contest. Let's make it big. Let's do it. Bring it.
But I think for sure we should instill a rule that if your spouse is entering, you cannot judge.
I agree with that. I agree 100% with that. I don't have no problem with that.
And look, if I suspect foul play, I'll go back to judging, but I'm upping it even harder. I'm going even stricter than I ever have before. If it's not even good, I'm cool with there not even being a third place.
Wow. Well,
we'll just leave an empty slot.
Leave an empty slot. I got you. Well, we appreciate your comments. That's really good. We like when you comment. That gives us more to talk about.
Had a lot of good laughs from these comments and all the texts that were sent. They were very, very funny.
Very good.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed the rant. Now, we'll step into top 5. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, which is fine.
Well, we kind of thought with you not being well and not having a Sunday. Well, so let's. Do we want to back up and tell us what you think happened in the youth department Sunday? What you asked them to do for you on Sunday?
I don't know what you're referring to.
So for your Sunday school class, I mean, who taught it? What'd they teach? What'd they do?
Oh, they just watched a Tim Tebow sermon from a couple years ago where he was, I think I'd watched it before. I didn't rewatch it before I told him, so I don't know exactly. I know he was kind of just talking about like what really matters in life and going all in on your faith.
Gotcha.
I thought you were saying that because they did something bad that I should have known about.
No, nothing I know of.
I was like, oh my gosh.
No, I'm just asking.
I said, what went? I thought you were saying. I thought you were like, oh, hey, what did you think was going to happen in your Sunday school?
He was worried for a train
I was like,
wreck
I guess Haley didn't hold down the fort as good as I thought she would.
Oh, she did great.
And so I don't know exactly. I know Dusty texted me and he said, hey, heard you're sick. I'm sorry. Hope you get well soon. He said, I enjoyed the Tim Tebow video, and so did all the students. So
good.
But that was
So they followed that. They at least did what you asked them to do.
Hey, so I went to Haley. Well, Haley texted me the night before, like well before. I was gonna text her, and she texted me first and said, "I assume you're not coming to church tomorrow. What do you need me to do?"
Good for her.
I said, "Look at you.
Look
at you taking initiative.
Good sister."
And so yeah, super thankful to her. I don't know. I know Dusty and Lisa were up there. I don't know if Tucker was there, but I didn't. Was my numbers good?
No. You were down. But I think you have a lot of sick students, man.
Well, yeah, because one of our students got us all sick.
Right. So we're blaming him and her.
We didn't announce gender.
Oh,
you just leaked that.
Sorry, we're blaming he, she.
It's funny because they came to church kind of sick, and then all the rest of us got hit at the same time. It has to be that. Well, now they know.
I don't know. I think there's so many sick people to narrow it down to just one person like that.
I've been accused of just not getting good enough sleep. I don't think that's accurate. I get 8 hours every night. That's how much you should get.
Do you?
Yes.
See, a lot of people feel like you're burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, a lot of people that only see me on Sundays and Wednesdays and have no idea what my day-to-day life looks like.
That's true. You do not do a whole lot around here, so... I'm just kidding. Speaking of that, we need to clean the mission house.
No.
Yes.
No, we don't.
We do.
Why?
Because we have a missionary coming next week.
Just get him a hotel.
Get a hotel. Come on. It'll be good.
But yeah, no. I am getting 8 hours of sleep every night for those that are concerned.
They are concerned.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well,
So, read it and weep.
It. Yeah. And here's the deal. When I was your age, well, we're burning the candle. I mean, that's just what you do at that age. So it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I think that, they see on social media I go on the cruise. I come back that Saturday. I'm snowboarding. And it seems like I was gone for just the weekend.
Yeah. Well, not even the weekend because you were back by Saturday night for church.
So I literally just went to go snowboard that one day. And
which is fun.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I definitely miss snowboarding a lot. That was a blast. I want to do it more. And the people were loving I wore my moped helmet that had the goggles.
Yep, I heard.
The folks were loving that. Ski Patrol hit me up. They were saying, dude, that's sick. You look awesome. People were asking for my autograph when I would get to the end of the slopes.
Wow.
It was a busy day for me. I had to take a lot of pictures.
A lot going on.
But yeah.
Yeah, wow.
You walk into a public place like that, I kind of know what to expect.
It just happens.
Let's jump into our top 5. We're doing top 5 sodas today. So we're going to start with our number 5, work our way up. If you'd like to give your input for us to talk about next week, you can throw that in there. Just know if you put something gross like Vitamalt in there, we're going to make fun of you, which I doubt anybody
I have 5 sodas.
Have you tried Vitamalt?
No, it looks gross. It smells gross.
That's another Bahamian exclusive. It's packed with vitamins, which is the opposite of what you want in a soda. It's pretty disgusting. It tastes like, I don't even remember. It's been so long since I had it. I remember we got Grant to try it while we were in the Bahamas, and he didn't enjoy it too much. But it's not as bad as Beverly. If you've ever had Beverly, it's a Coke product. It tastes, this is not an over-exaggeration. This is
gross. Exactly
what it tastes like. I know because one time I was itching my ear and then went to pick my lip and I tasted some of my earwax. That's exactly what Beverly tastes like.
That's just gross.
So if you've ever tried earwax, actually, if you're sitting at home and you're going, man, I'd love to try Beverly, but I don't want to go to another country. Here's what you do: put your finger, swirl around your ear for a little bit, stick it on your tongue. You've tasted Beverly, but
it's pretty bad.
It's actually the most foul thing. I don't see how any.
So go to the world of Coke
that.
And drink some Beverly.
Also, sparkling waters are so bad.
Sparkling water?
Mom's got that bubbly stuff in the fridge. I stole one. It's terrible.
So you regret your thievery
Well, no, I don't regret it. I just, I feel bad for her that's what she's buying for herself. It's awful.
Right? She could have done better.
The only thing I've had that sparkling water-wise that I think is good is this brand called Clear American. You can get a 12-pack for $4 at Walmart, but only if you're not scared of, what's the fake sugar called?
Aspartame.
It's got a lot of that in it, but it is so good. They have a cherry limeade one that's fantastic. But we're going to get started. My number 5 on my list.
What about
No, what?
Do you have a
honorable mention?
Honorable mention.
Yeah, so I do
have
actually.
an honorable mention.
I'm glad you said that. My honorable mention is a soda you can only get in Scotland that me and Colton tried while we were there. It's an orange vanilla soda.
Really?
It's called Iron Brew.
Nice.
And it's apparently a big deal because when I went to Scotland, the dude at the coffee shop said, "You have to try an Iron Brew." And I was like, all right, sure, don't know what that is. So I went to a gas station. Me and Colton grabbed one, and we drank it while looking up at the Edinburgh Castle. And it's very, very good. So if you're ever in Scotland, got to get some Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention, and I don't drink it very often, but I love the flavor. So I'm not looking to drink an entire mug of it, but I don't mind a couple of swallows, and that would be root beer. Yeah.
Which brand? Because there is, and as a Coke guy, it's hard to say this, but
yeah,
Barg's is not the best root beer.
No, I would probably say A&W.
A&W all day. A lot of Georgia people love Mug.
You just really, Mug's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not A&W.
A&W, yeah. So we probably upset Grandpa because we didn't stick with Barks, but
I think he knows.
He knows.
You
got to know. There's some things you got to know.
Just he knows.
Coke's doing some good things, but
he knows also, which I don't know. I've never talked to him about this. Gatorade's better than Powerade. However,
by far. 100 miles.
I like Body Armor more than Powerade, so that's where Coke takes it back.
Oh, Coke. Okay, I got you. Wow.
I'd rather have a Body Armor than a Powerade or a Gatorade all day.
No, lemon lime Gatorade, and of course that's not part of our topic because we're talking about sodas here. Sodas.
Yeah, sorry, Aunt Debbie.
But
she hates when we get off topic.
Yeah, she does. Aunt Debbie does not like when we get off topic. But yes, I would say lemon lime Gatorade is hands down if I'm drinking any kind of drink like that.
Lemon lime or green apple.
Nope.
Alex likes the cucumber garbage, which is disgusting.
Anyways, is disgusting.
My number 5. Most of y'all probably won't know this one either. I'm going to do a combo because it's the same brand, but there's 2 different flavors. I'm going to go with Big Red and Big Blue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So crazy, but that is my number 5 as well. Not Big Blue, but Big Red.
You don't like Big Blue?
No, I don't like the Big Blue, but I like Big
cream
Red.
Soda, but blue colored.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I like red dyes, not blue dyes.
Fair.
And I'm just kidding. I do. My number 5. I feel like you stole my 5. That's terrible. But Big Red would be. And so usually
when you were talking about your Sunday school, I was thinking through sodas, and Big Red and Big Blue and Iron Brew all popped in my head, and I was like, but which one's going to get the 5 spot? So I decided I was going to give Big Red and Big Blue the 5 spot, and then you brought up an honorable mention. I was like, perfect. I can slip Iron Brew in there.
I don't feel like you can do Big Red and Big Blue because they're 2 different things.
Well, so my thought was so say if I wanted to say Fanta, well, I would just group in all the Fanta flavors.
I'm not. That. So just so you know, I'm not doing that.
I mean, but you okay?
Because I got some Fantas going.
So I prefer Big Blue over Big Red. So I'll just kick Big Red out.
Wow, Big Red just got booted. I like Big Red, and it's going to be for those who don't know a lot like what is it, cherry wine or whatever that is that's around here.
Yeah, but that's garbage.
Is it garbage?
Compared to Big Red, it's garbage.
Compared to Big Red. So anyhow, I don't know if that's a West Texas thing or a Texas thing or I've never seen a Big Red around here.
No, I've only seen it in San Angelo.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, I like Big Red. It's good, and it's good. So I get to do 4 because I don't want you to steal my 4. Ready?
Yeah, but slow down. Let me think through my top 4 again.
Uh-oh, you don't even know. Well, I can go ahead and say mine while you're thinking about it.
Yeah, but you're going to have to talk for a while. Well, I'm scared that what if it is the same one?
That's
I don't want to get accused of stealing.
All right, just tell me when you're ready.
Just go.
All right, Fanta Orange. But now that I think about it, I may switch Big Red with Fanta Orange.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we've collapsed brutally. Fanta Orange. You said Fanta Orange?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, dude, Iron Brew's way better. Fanta's not.
I've never had Iron Brew, so I can't. There's no way for me to throw that into my top 5 if I've never drank it.
None of the Fanta flavors are even on my top 5, so you're good.
Well, you're sad.
I'm assuming if you have Fanta Orange on there, Fanta Pineapple's also going to be on there.
Maybe.
My number 4 is a Bahamian exclusive. We were drinking on here the other day. It is Goombay Punch.
I have one of those in the fridge. I'm looking forward to drinking it this morning.
I think there's only 2 left. We crushed that.
Well, no, I took 1, so there's only 1 left at this point.
I feel like you've had way more than I have.
Maybe.
That's not fair.
Well, I paid for them.
No, I also paid. We both got charged. So here's what happened. I don't know if I told this story.
You did.
Yeah, so we both got fully charged for this stupid thing.
I think they took yours back. You need to go back and look. I think they gave you back your money.
All I'm saying is I got charged. What?
Fanta Orange.
Don't touch that other one.
No,
how many was in the pack?
I thought 24.
So we've been home for what, a week?
We've been home for 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Okay, so in 2 weeks we crushed. So that's.
And I'm trying not to drink them, but because I don't need all that sugar.
So every time I go to drink one, I go, oh, but they're dad's too. I'm not gonna try to drink all of them, and I'll come back. I'm like, hey, where'd they go?
I'm trying not to drink them, but yet I'm still drinking them.
So once I noticed they were starting to disappear, I picked up my drinking pretty heavily.
Yeah, well, so
I'm drinking Goombay, by the way.
Goombay. So I have picked for mine is orange, Fanta Orange.
You said that.
Yeah.
So you gonna go to 3?
We go to 3. Fanta Pineapple.
Yep, knew that was coming. The inferior version of Goombay Punch, so it's interesting that Goombay's not on the list.
It is an inferior, but when you live here and you can't get Goombay Punch,
order it. You can order packs to your house.
Can you really?
100%.
Someone said you couldn't.
Someone's awesome. A filthy liar.
Well, then I lied Sunday because someone asked, why can't you just order it? And I go, I don't think you can.
You can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, well, I'm a liar. So anyhow, Fanta Pineapple is number 3, and I really like it. I don't drink it a lot. I don't drink a lot of sodas these days. I've noticed that I've cut way back on my sodas. But I'll drink an orange and a pineapple if they're there. I don't mind them at all.
So my number 3 is also going to be a combo.
Oh, wow.
But instead of the cop-out of just saying all the flavors, I'm just going to group together my 2 favorite flavors. It's a Mexican soda brand that you can get in the States called Jarritos.
I like Jarritos.
Pineapple and mandarin are by far the best 2 flavors.
I like the pineapple.
I think mandarin's probably my favorite. But yeah, so you know what? Since I already have a pineapple soda on the list, I'm just going to say mandarin will take the number 3 spot
for Jarritos.
Jarritos mandarin,
which is Spanish for jars.
It is. Look that up. Yeah, it is.
Yep, I remembered.
That's why their logo is
have those jars on them.
It's like the clay jars.
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah,
but they actually. Fun fact about that brand: when I was in like middle school, early high school, I was obsessed with them. Followed them on Instagram, messaged them a bunch of stuff. They sent me a bottle opener keychain that's like the shape of a Jarritos bottle. They sent me a T-shirt and a pair of socks, and they followed me on Instagram. I checked back this last year; they unfollowed me on Instagram
because you're no longer promoting their stuff.
Heartbreaking, so heartbreaking. Because I remember the day they followed me on Instagram, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Well, they thought you were going to be good for them.
Yeah, and I was showing everybody at school. They're like, "No way!" So they all tried the same approach. Didn't work for them. They didn't care about them. They wanted Keagan.
Nice.
And then they unfollowed
and
me.
Now they don't.
So really tough. Yes,
I do. So you can get Jarritos at the Walmarts. You can get it at
but not
Kroger.
The Jasper Walmart. You have to go to.
No, I've seen it there in the party packs.
The party packs, I guess, maybe sometimes. Yeah. But if you go to LJ Walmart, you can get the 2 liters, the single glass. I just go to Kroger. You can get the 4-pack glass bottles. That's what you want.
Glass bottles are better.
But
I agree.
So that's my number 3.
Number 3.
Now you're ready for your number 2.
We've already talked about number 2. I can't believe it was so low on your list. But Goombay Punch is going to be number 2 for me.
The top of my list is more about all reliables.
I got you. Well, stuff that you can get.
Like my number 1, I wouldn't necessarily say it tastes the best, but at any given moment, I'd be willing to drink one of these where it's not the case for the other sodas.
I got you.
Because like Goombay tastes phenomenal, but sometimes I don't want something that sweet.
Right. Well, that's with all of mine except for top 1.
Yeah.
All of them are one of those things where I like them.
My top 1 goes with everything.
Absolutely.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert.
Yep. So I agree 100%.
So your number 2 is Goombay. Solid choice. My number 2, as a proud Texan, is Dr. Pepper.
Gross. So see, we we derailed right there. I would rather I'd rather die than drink Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, and a lot of people would
disgusting.
say, so you don't drink Dr. Pepper, you only do chili with beans in it. A lot of people would say, you're not a Texan.
They may. A lot of people may say I'm not a Texan. But I have integrated to the state in which I live in, and for the most part, and I'm comfortable with saying Dr. Pepper is disgusting, and I would not drink that. But so
do you like Pib?
No. I don't like Pib.
Pib's inferior to Dr. Pepper, but Pib's also good.
100%. So my problem is, so as a kid growing up, all we ever had in the house was Dr. Pepper. In fact, I didn't know there was anything else.
There's Dr. Pepper in the 40s?
Yep. And so all there was in the house was Dr. Pepper. And it was, it was okay. But, I mean, it was sweet and it was sudsy, that kind of deal. But then I went to a friend's house. His name was James Pridgeon. And they had this new drink that I'd never heard of,
Pepsi Clear,
and it was fantastic. It was called Coca-Cola, and so I quickly moved from. I remember.
You're telling me you didn't know what Coke was?
Nope. I remember going home and telling my mom, "Dude, there's this new stuff out. It's called Coke. It's great."
Didn't Coke come out before Dr. Pepper?
Oh, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. In our house, and that's the problem is with where you're raised, right? If mom bought soda, it was a Dr. Pepper. So we didn't have a whole lot of soda growing up. But when there was, it was Dr. Pepper. So then when I went to this friend's house, I'm like, we've got to buy some Coke. We've got to have Coke. So yeah,
so obviously Coke's obviously my number one as well.
Absolutely,
it's
number
the
one.
king of sodas.
Absolutely,
always has
hands
been,
down.
always will be.
Absolutely.
As a brand, as a company, but even as the solo drink itself, nothing touches that crisp taste of Coca-Cola. They're our sponsor for today's episode.
Are they? Nice.
Yeah, they sent us a little bit of money.
Did they? Sweet.
So shout out to Coca-Cola. I have another honorable mention that I feel like should be talked about just because it popped into my memory right as you were doing that speech of being a kid and sodas that you had. I believe it was called Shasta.
Shasta.
Do you remember that?
I've heard of it.
You'd go to a birthday party and people would buy...
It was a cheap version.
I think George's version of it was Faygo.
I don't know.
Because at camp they give out those Faygo, and they have root beer, Coke, Mountain Dew. They have all their versions of every soda. When growing up in Texas, we had a drink called Shasta, and I don't know if that was a thing in Georgia, but if any of you remember Shasta, please comment. But you bought it for our birthday parties and stuff
because it was cheap, and I was giving it to kids,
which is I think Georgia's modern equivalent is Faygo.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, we would go through there. I'm not going to waste good quality Coca-Cola on a bunch of kids that I don't even like.
No. But yeah, Shasta, we would always go crazy for that Shasta.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You liked it, and so it's cheaper. So let's buy the Shasta for the parties.
Well, I said with the Faygo at camp, you get the Mountain Dew version. And you're like, this is Mountain Dew.
I can drink it.
This isn't any different. Is Mountain Dew? Mountain Dew's Coke, right?
Mountain Dew is a Pepsi product.
Ooh,
I'm interested as it's surprising that Mountain Dew's not in either one of our lists.
I almost put Mountain Dew Baja Blast in my list, but didn't make the cut.
Didn't make it. Sometimes you're just not good enough. Coca-Cola is king, and from the very first time I drank Coke, I knew Coke was going to be my drink as far as sodas are concerned, and nothing better than a McDonald's Coca-Cola.
True.
So fantastic.
But my grandpa, who's listening to this episode, he's the biggest Pepsi fan. He loves Pepsi. If you go in his house, he's got Pepsi decorations everywhere.
Yeah,
he worked for
crazy.
Pepsi for a while.
Yeah.
He lives and breathes Pepsi.
Yeah,
so shout out Grandpa. He's a big Pepsi guy.
Big Pepsi guy. So y'all pray for him. But yeah, we those are my top 5, and I've found that as I get older, I drink a lot less soda.
Me too.
But if it's there, I do have a hard time resisting. In fact, Sunday I was here, and Johnny came in. Which is Alicia Ellis's dad, and he had a Coke. He goes, "What soda do you drink?" I said, "I drink Coke." He goes, "Here, I got one for you." And I go, "No, man, I don't." I said, "I have a Coke. I was drinking a Goombay Punch." I said, "So I'm good. And he goes, "Okay, well, I'll drink it then." And so, but I thought it was very nice.
He also used to work with Coke, I believe.
He still does.
Yep.
In fact, he had this big van out here, Coca-Cola van out here Wednesday night. Yeah. So good. And yep. I think I'll always like Coke. It's always just been really good. I mean, so much to the point that I've even got quite a Coca-Cola collection of stuff of Coca-Cola.
I've been doing good at water only. Then we went on the cruise.
Cruise will hurt you.
Things dropped drastically.
Well, Goombay Punch came back into the mix.
I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't brought my water jug in here in a while.
No, yep, that happens.
But anyways,
that's a hard commitment.
We're coming up on an hour. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next week,
we could do that. Well, we probably won't have a pod next week.
We haven't figured out a plan next week. Most likely, it's just not going to be an episode. So take another week off. Listen to some other podcasts while you've missed us.
Or go back and listen to some of our old stuff.
Yeah, surely you haven't listened to all of them.
Yeah, there's probably one there that you haven't listened to.
But we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please leave some comments. We will see you next week.
See you.